Welcome back to Tinker and Bruce. Welcome back to my channel. I know I have said that I would be doing several things all along. It seems like right now I'm stuck in the woodworking, which is fine by me. It's cold and it's about 15 degrees outside, but I've got the heater cranking in here. I have shared with you in the past how I cut the angles and I got them glued together. I've got them sanded down. Got the frame sanded down, looking pretty good. I put a little bit of stain on this one cross piece. You can see how it looks versus the other wood. See how it makes that grain pop? It really gives it that antique look without even really having to do anything to the wood to disturb it. I did get my pieces cut, my glass and my backing. And when I get ready to put that in, I also put that on film so you can see how I do that. But the glass will go in first, then the picture, and then the piece of masonite on the back. So we're going to put a little of this stain on here for you this evening so you can kind of see how that goes on. It just goes on real nice and easy. That wood is just as smooth as it can be. I took a 220 sandpaper, sanded it down, and this chestnut, that oak really seems to be working. I like it. Actually, I like it better than the white oak. But if you can see that grain, how it's really got an antique look. I got to get down in those grooves yet, but we'll get down in there in a little bit. I got a little screwdriver here. We'll just poke her right down in there. This stuff is just going to run down in there. This stain, you can get pretty sloppy. You can get it all over you. I shouldn't do it, but I use a little carburetor cleaner to clean my hands off. It takes it right off. I wouldn't suggest that to everybody, but I've done that kind of stuff for years. When I work on tractors, I'm into gasoline, something fierce. I walk in the house, I smell like a fuel tank. I've washed my hands with gas. I've taken a bath in gas. Get a tank cut loose on me or something. And diesel fuel and all of that stuff. Just take a shower and clean up. And yeah, it might smell for a day or two, but it could always be worse. I don't know if any of you have ever siphoned any gas or not. I guess I shouldn't really talk about that. But being on the farm, if we had something that run out of fuel, and you had another piece of equipment sitting there and had gas in the tank, we'd go get our Kentucky credit card. Oops, I guess I shouldn't say that either. A piece of 1/4 inch or 3/8 hose, start a siphon, and stick a hose down in a gas tank, stick the other end of your mouth, and suck on the hose till you get gas either in your mouth or you got it in the tank. But once you get it started and you get that one end of the hose lower than the other, she'll flow right along. Key to that is you use a clear hose so you can see where the gas is at or the fuel's at when you're creating a suction. I shouldn't talk about that kind of stuff. Hey, we did what we had to do when we were farming. If you had a tractor out in the field and you ran out of gas, you had another one there that had gas in it, you went and did what you had to do. We never did anything illegal. We just trying to keep things running. Sometimes that gets to be a challenge. But yeah, you can kind of see here what it's going to look like when I get done. I really like what I'm seeing here. I like this wood. This wood is really nice. I got this off of a fella down in the Morgan, I think it's Morgan Monroe Forest, just below Martinsville. I think I've said something about it on this channel before. And I really like I really like it. And it's pretty too. The grain in it looks like that old antique grain. Now, when I get this stain on here and get it done, what I'm going to do is take and put a coat of tung oil on it just to kind of seal it a little bit and see what that's going to look like. It should look pretty nice. It should look pretty good. Boy, that's really looking good. Yeah, I'm getting stain everywhere. It don't hurt you. Dad used to say when they were growing up, he said if you didn't have any walnut stain on you or skunk stink, it meant you wasn't doing nothing. They used to go out and gather up the walnuts under the walnut trees in the woods, and they'd bring them up and dry them, get the hulls off of them. And them hulls, them hulls had a lot of stain. Oh, they would stain your hands. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to go back in the woods and pick up them old walnuts and throw them, and I'd come up to the house, my hands would be all black with walnut stain. Walnut, I guess you all call it. I guess I'm from the part of the state where it's walnut. So anyway, this is going to turn out pretty nice. We'll get the front side of it done. We'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll shut the camera off and we'll let it dry here tonight. It'll look pretty good. I've got some barn doors in the house. I've used one in the bathroom, and I got two in the kitchen where I hide the laundry. And those two need to have some stain put on them. They're just natural pines, what they are. Nice wood. But I bought them. I couldn't make them for what I bought them for. I went and bought the lumber and bought the tooling to be able to put it together like it should be. I don't have all those kinds of tools to really do it the way it should be done, but they're a natural wood and what you want to call a blonde, but they need some stain on them to give them a little bit of color. Yeah, that's pretty. Man, that is pretty. I think of all the stains, this stain here is a honey. And I think of all the stains I've used, I think I like this one better than any of them on this oak. Oh, that's pretty. Like George Peppard used to say, well, you just love it when a plan comes together. It's amazing what you can take and do with a old piece of rough sawn lumber, plane it, work it, finish it, put a stain on it, a finish coat. It's amazing what you can do with a piece of wood. You just take your time. Are there mistakes in this? Yes. It's handmade. It's handmade. There are going to be mistakes. But anybody can go buy a picture frame and put a picture in it. And there are places up here that actually make picture frames and sell frames as a business. But when you get done, you got a real piece of art here. Something that someone has made. I think I mentioned that Mom and Dad put a puzzle together, and she wanted to know if I could make a frame for it. This is going to turn out real nice. Yeah, I'm real pleased with this. See how my hands are? Won't hurt nothing. All right, now let's get another cloth and wipe the excess off a little bit. There'll be more come off of there than you think. See how pretty that is? Man, that's gorgeous. Whoops. Here it is. Go back here, Claw. I missed this other side too. There's enough stain on the rag, I won't have to dip it again. So there you are. Not quite finished, but you seen me take it from and cut the strips, to cut the angles, to gluing it together. Sanding, I didn't record that because that's boring. But this is kind of neat as you kind of watch it come together and come to color. So anyway, have a good evening, everyone. I'll try to finish filming this tomorrow when I put the picture in it and get it ready to go. So anyway, thanks for tuning into the channel, Tinker and Bruce. Like and subscribe if you like what you see. Put some questions and comments in there. Like I said, this is not fancy work, but it's just pretty easy work, but it's kind of neat, the results you get. So again, have a good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining me.